Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel once again. In this particular video, we'll be discussing about Introduction to Data Science Part 3. Intro to Data Science Part 3. So in the last video, I was discussing about data statistics and data visualization, the two different components. So in this session, we'll be discussing about machine learning, the third component. So let me explain you with the sample data set, guys. Assume I've got a 5 record data set. 5 record data set. In that, we'll have some first 3 rows reserved for various types of fruits. And the second 2 rows, we can very well have some animals. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So assume I've got here some lemon. Then I've got the features pertaining to orange. The third one, I can have it for banana. Maybe fourth and fifth, I can reserve it for cat and dog. So this is a limited data set. Now, for any human being, okay, if I just want to have a new object that is coming in, either it could be a lemon or it could be a banana or it could be an horse. So I just want to figure it out to which group this object is belonging to. Okay, so very well by just comparing or mapping the object with the existing rows, I can very well just conclude, okay, lemon is available and then banana is also available. Maybe this horse, if you want to find it out, it is not available. So this is not available. So as a human being with the limited records, it is highly possible to recollect and remember, thereby we find the object, whether it is available or not available. Assume a scenario where you have got some trillions of records, okay, huge volume of record, which is highly impossible, trillions of record, okay, so which is highly impossible for a human being to remember. Okay, so in which case, even if a human being tries to remember also, their brain will become fatigue. Okay, so that is the reason we always try to rely on machine, which helps us to learn, which learns on behalf of human being, behalf of human being. That is the reason we have got the term called machine learning. Machine is learning on behalf of human beings. Thereby, you got the term as machine learning. So machine learning, if you just say the definition for it, it is a subfield of ML is basically a subfield of computer science that gives the computers the ability to learn without being explicitly programmed. Without being explicitly programmed. Explicitly programmed. Okay. So this particular term has been coined by a person named Arthur Samwell. Samwell way back 1959 at IBM. Okay, so now let us quickly see how this machine learning works. Suppose assume I am just having the features pertaining to cat. Okay, So I've got all the related features. Then you will have the different process that is being carried out in order to match and figure it out. Thereby you predict the given object is cat. Suppose if you just supply ORs, then you can say it is an ORs. So that is how you can very well make the machine learn and come out with the prediction. Okay. Now these models that helps us in variety of tasks such as object recognition, then you will have summarization. Also recommendation is there. Recommendation, that is we'll call it as MBA here, market basket analysis and so on. So this is how you will have or perform variety of tasks. Okay. Now we'll see the ML uses. ML uses. So number one, if you just look at it, ML will help us to predict it. Okay, so it is mainly used for prediction. For example, you can predict the individual's behavior in a firm. This can be carried out by the HR person. Okay, individual HR analytics people. Okay, so individual behavior prediction. So that is how you can have. If you want, I can also write that individual behavior prediction. Then you can also identify the cost of an asset. Suppose assume a multimillionaire is owning like apartments, various apartments. Okay, I just want to find out the total cost. So you can very well predict the cost. Then cost of a product. Then you can predict sales, which will come under sales analytics. Then predict purchases, purchase analytics. Don't worry guys, I've got different data sets where I can cover each and every domain, both in EDA, the second level, as well as in the third level with machine learning course. Okay, then also you can very well find the customer retention, customer satisfaction, whatnot. Everything can be made possible with the help of prediction. Then comes the detection. So the second one is detection. It is, you can also, the same way you can also detect the human behavior and their identity. Then you can also detect the fraud that is happening everywhere, fraud and abuse, especially in banks, ATMs, like that. Then you can have text detection, speech detection, and so on. Then the third category could be generation. You can very well just imagine guys, like you can generate the sequence of words, that is text generation, then music, art, and so on. So likewise, you have got the ML has got its footage in prediction, detection, and generation. Now we'll just see ML applications, various ML applications. So the first one could be manufacturing. where you can use it for optimization or for troubleshooting. Then the throughout anywhere, okay, the throughout the different phases in supply chain management, SCM, you can find its ML usage. The same way for web mining, if you consider based on the different search engines, you can have it. Then bioinformatics, life sciences, healthcare, then you can also have it in retail, sales, then especially in telecommunications. Likewise, what not, you can include whatever the domain you feel like. Okay, so everyone started using ML for all these different uses, namely prediction, detection, and generation. Okay, now let me just explain you the various types of learning that is available under machine learning. Okay, I am taking the lecture very slowly, guys, so that it can be made useful for the non-computer people also. Those who know all these terms, please try to revise. Okay, and those who are very new to this machine learning or data science, and want to start afresh into this line, they can very well just get to know about all these terms in depth through my lectures. So that is the reason I am taking the class very slowly, guys. Okay, so now we have got different types of learning. So ML, you have got two different types of learning ML algorithms. Okay, one is supervised algorithm, supervised learning. We'll call it a supervised learning algorithms. And the third one is unsupervised learning. So under supervised learning, whenever it considers or takes the class labels, and also you can very well say, what to say, like independent and dependent, independent and dependent. So you will have two different types of variables. Independent, we'll call it as predictors, or else you can call it as input variables. Okay. Otherwise, the dependent variable, you can call it as the target variable or output variable. Then you can also call it as response variable. So you will have two different types of variables. Okay, independent and dependent. Okay, so this is how you can, so you will have the class label under supervised learning. Whereas in unsupervised learning, you don't have any distinction between dependent or independent. We'll always consider all the different types of variables. Then you will just cluster it, group it. Okay, so grouping will be carried out with the help of unsupervised learning. So you will not have any independent or dependent variable here. Okay, so you will not have class labels. Class label will be missing out here. Okay, so this is very, very important. So the presence of class label will be there in terms of supervised label, whereas class label will be missing. You will not have class label in unsupervised learning. Okay, so under supervised learning, you have got various algorithms. You will have regression. Here the regression mainly used for continuous data type. Scale, that is scale or metric data type. Scale data type. Then you will, under regression, you will have different varieties of regression, types of regression, like linear regression, logistic regression, ridge regression, lasso regression. Many regressions are there, guys. I'll teach you in detail in the third level. Okay. Then comes the classification. Okay. So then you will have the decision trees, D tree, then the ensembling forest. We'll just call it as like a random forest, ensembling of trees, random forest. Okay. So this is how you will have the supervised learning. So suppose assume you have got the training data over here, then you will be extracting the features. Feature extraction will be carried out using dimensionality reduction. Then you will have the ML model. You will build the ML model. Okay, build ML model. How will you build? With the help of ML algorithms, machine learning algorithms based on the type of data. Please understand that you have to focus on the context and the type of data. Only then you can apply the respective algorithms. Just like that, for any type of data, you cannot directly apply the algorithms. So you will have performance metrics. Okay, this also is very, very important, guys. Just like that, you cannot apply the various metrics for the different algorithms. Each and every algorithm has got its own specific set of measures or performance metrics. Only with that, we can very well have the accuracy that can be achieved. Okay. So this is how you can very well have it. Okay. Then I can very well give this out to training data. So this one could be the training data. So this is how the total process goes on for the supervised learning. Then comes the types of supervised learning. So here, just see here, guys, I'm having some different data points over here. In the same way, I've got some other different data points. Okay. So what am I doing in this graph? I'm simply classifying. Okay. I'm just simply classifying it. Okay. Based on the characteristics, I'm simply classifying it, grouping it. So I'll just call this as classification. On the other hand, if I'm just got a continuous set of data, then this is my straight line, the y predicted one. Then I have got the different points. It can very well lie anywhere closer to this or outside also. So this one I just call it as a slope, and this I'll call overall I'll call it as the regression. So this is how I can very well have the types of supervised algorithm, namely classification and regression. Okay. Now we'll see the examples for classification also. Some few examples let me give you. Suppose assume in finance sector, I just want to categorize the low risk customers and high risk customers. Then I'll be having like this. Okay. So based on the features, I can very well have it. Like this one, I can call it as high risk customers, and this one I can call it as low risk customers. Probably you can consider the x-axis as income and the y-axis as savings. Okay. So this is how we will have the example for classification, and the broader one you can call it as credit scoring. Credit scoring. So in order to differentiate between low risk and high risk customers based on their income and savings, I can very well classify like this. Okay. Then the various classification applications are there. Classification applications are there. So number one, I can have it as face recognition. It all depends on the pattern recognition, guys. So face recognition. Then I can have character recognition. Character recognition with the help of different handwriting styles. Then I can also have speech recognition, that is voice recognition. Okay, speech or voice recognition. Okay, so this is how you can very well have the examples for classification. Okay, so and that's all about the introduction of supervised learning. Now we'll just quickly move on to unsupervised learning. Now we'll just move on with unsupervised learning. So as I told you, unsupervised learning does not include, it will not include class label, does not include or consider class label. It will take all the features and it will categorize or group the data points based on the features. Okay. So the output of this, I've shown you the model. Okay. I've shown you the model, the working process or the model here, guys. So everything will be similar excepting the output of the ML model will be segmentation, pattern or cluster. So the output of the ML model will be the output of the ML model will be segmentation, or you can say pattern, identifying the various patterns, or you can cluster, group it. Okay. So the which are all the algorithms that you will be using? Clustering. Then you will be having the associations, finding the related associations. So finding associations. This can happen with the help of MBA, guys, market basket analysis, using a priori algorithm. A priori algorithm. Okay. Everything I'll be teaching you in detail, guys. Then you will have something called dimensionality reduction. Dimensionality reduction. Otherwise, we'll call it as PCA, principal component analysis. Okay. So like dimensionality DR. Okay. Likewise, we have got many different names associated to it. Okay. So association, this finding out association basically depend on probability. That is based on the probability, that is P of Y given X. Suppose assume I'm getting into a bakery. I am purchasing a bread. Okay. So what is the probability that I may tend to buy butter also? So likewise, predicting the preferences or buying preferences of the various customers getting into the bakery can be done with the help of a priori algorithm, which is otherwise called as market basket analysis. Now, we'll just see what is clustering. So clustering is grouping of related data points or objects, related data points or objects based on the, and it will give us the discovering structure, then summarization and anomaly detection. So likewise, you can imagine this. Suppose I am having the various data points. I'm just having one cluster, another cluster here with the similar data points. Okay, likewise, I can call this as cluster 1, cluster 2, cluster 3, and so on and so forth. So this is how you will be grouping it. So clustering is used mostly for these three: discovering structure, summarization, and anomaly detection. Okay, so that's all about unsupervised learning. Now let me explain you the distinction between supervised learning and versus unsupervised learning. So the first one could be, as I told you, it is mainly used for classification. That is, it classifies. Please remember guys, SL means you should have labeled data. So it classifies labeled data. Whereas here, clustering, unsupervised for clustering. Okay, unsupervised for clustering. This finds the patterns. Find patterns and groupings. Groupings from, can you guess guys? Yes, it is unlabeled data. Unlabeled data. I'll just underline it so that you will not forget. So classification classifies labeled data. Class label should be available. Whereas clustering, it is from unlabeled data. Grouping and pattern finding can be achieved using unlabeled data. Then coming back to the SL, you will have the regression. Regression, it is mainly your focuses on predicting trends using previous labeled data. Labeled data. Okay. So this is how you can very well have the distinction between SL versus VL. Now the last part of this session could be the flow of data science process. Data science process. Assume I've got a real world over here. Okay, real world. Now I'm just collecting the raw data from various sources. Raw data is being collected. Okay. Now I'm having the data processing happening over here. Data is being processed. Now I cleanse the data. After cleansing, what will you do? You will do the exploratory data analysis, where I told the data visualization will come into picture. Cleansing the data will involve missing layer, missing value treatment, outlier treatment, so on and so forth. Then after EDA, you will come out with ML, algorithms, then statistical models. After which, once the model is ready, what will you do? After you apply the algorithm, you will come out with the data product. So that is how we'll just say we'll build the data product with the help of machine learning algorithms. While cleansing the data, you can also visualize the report. So report findings will be available. Not only that, in this phase also, you will come out with the report. The same way, after you cleanse the data, you can also use the ML algorithm. Once the report is ready at this phase, you will come out with the decisions or insights. Thereby, you can submit it to the stakeholders. So this is how you can very well have. And once the data product is available, you can very well communicate it to the outside world or the real world. It is ready for implementation. So this is a whole lot of process that can happen in the data science life cycle. Okay, so this is how the entire process that can happen. Okay, yes guys, so today's session we have discussed about, especially in this video, we have discussed about classification, that is we have started the lecture with this ML, the third component, explained you with the 5 record data set, then the trillions of data set, then what do you mean by ML, then ML uses, ML applications, the types of ML, supervised and unsupervised. Supervised basically focuses on labeled data, unsupervised basically depends on unlabeled data. Then we have discussed about the data science process. So that is how you can very well work on with this third component, which is called as machine learning. Okay. Yes, guys, I hope you have really enjoyed this video. I've got lot of input related to the overview of machine learning. I'm sure that you have liked this video. Please subscribe if you have not done it already. See you in the next video, guys. Have a great day. Thank you one and all. Bye.